Much needed victory at home against the Utah Jazz, beating the Jazz 130 to 113. In the game, the Chicago Bulls go 18 of 34 from 3-point range. We're going to talk about it. How important was this win? Is there something that the Bulls can build off on top of this one as well as they continue their 3-game home stretch? We're going to talk about all that and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
I see red, I see red, I see red, I see red, yeah, I see red, I see red, I see red, I see.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. We get to talk about a dub today as Chicago Bulls get a much-needed victory, ending a losing streak, now moving to 3-5 on the season after beating the Utah Jazz. In this game, the Chicago Bulls took care of business. They only had 8 turnovers, so the Utah Jazz's 22 turnovers. They turned those turnovers into 30 points off turnovers for the Chicago Bulls. The Chicago Bulls also have 16 second-chance points in this game. And overall, the biggest thing in this game were the Chicago Bulls just shot the ball effectively, going 51% overall from the field and 52% from the three-point line, going 18 of 34 from the three-point line in this game. Zach LaVine scores 24 points in this game as well, going 8 of 17 from the field and 2 of 5 from three-point range. DeMar DeRozan scores 21 points, going 8 of 13 from the field, all much-needed points in this game. Kobe White has one of his best games as far as in a win. He chips in 18 points as well in this game. All of those 18 points needed. And then Nikola Vucevic has a night of 10 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block from Nikola Vucevic, even though he didn't have the big rebounding numbers. The Chicago Bulls actually get out-rebounded by 16 rebounds in this game and out-rebounded on the offensive boards 10-7 as well. But despite the rebounding deficit, the Chicago Bulls have 26 baskets on 48 made shots overall, 12 steals in this game. They also only have 8 turnovers themselves. Compare that to the Utah Jazz's 22 turnovers in this game. The Bulls played a really good brand of basketball today, getting a 17-point victory in a game that we needed to kind of just cleanse that palate. The Chicago Bulls play 7 out of the next 8 games at home, including this one that just went down tonight. And so hopefully the Bulls can really use this kind of restart their season, being at home a lot over the next 2 weeks to kind of, stay at home, get some practices in, be in their own buildings, in their own bed. This was a great way to start that homestand, which the initial one is 3 games. Then they go to Milwaukee. They come back for 4 straight games at home after that. This was another big game as well from Patrick Williams coming off the bench. The Bulls actually get over 50 points off the bench in this game. You got Patrick Williams scoring 10 points. You also have Andre Drummond going 12-7 in this game. You got Javon Carter going 12 points. He goes 4 of 8 from the three-point line as well. And then Alex Caruso also chipping in 10 points. He goes 3 of 3 overall from the field with 2 three-pointers as well. And then also Ayo Dosunmu. Ayo Dosunmu's rounding out really well. 16 minutes in this game. He scores 8 points in those 16 minutes. One rebound included in that. He goes 2 of 3 from the three-point line. So listen, the Bulls shot the ball extremely well. Now, this is probably not maintainable for the Chicago Bulls. They're facing a team in the Utah Jazz that have been bad at defending the three and bad at defense overall so far in the season. But again, we're talking about using this as kind of a jump start, build that confidence, which I'm sure the Chicago Bulls needed a jump start in the arm after the way their season has started so far. So it was really good to see the Chicago Bulls get this victory, maintain the lead throughout the whole game. The Chicago Bulls win every quarter but the fourth quarter. They lose that quarter by 3 points. But again, by that point, the game was already out of hand. We already understood that the Bulls were going to be winning that game, so I'm not going to hold that against them at all in this game. It was really good to see Zach LaVine have the game that he had as well. LaVine with a really big third quarter. I think LaVine scored 13 points in the third quarter alone in that second half. Let me double check that. No, he scored 12 points, going 4 of 6 overall in that third quarter. In the second quarter, the second half overall, he scores 14 points. So big second half night for Zach LaVine today, and we get that type of win that we need to see from Zach LaVine, where he steps up at the right times, at the right moments for the Bulls. It was also really good to see the Bulls hold on to the lead and keep it throughout the game. Yeah, the Utah Jazz showed a little bit of something from time to time, but overall, listen, the Chicago Bulls, they won this game. And the Utah Jazz never led in this game at all. They never had a lead in this game. We haven't seen the Chicago Bulls win or have a lead from start to finish in a game. It dates back all the way to December of last year that they had a game where they led the whole way through. So it's really good to see the Bulls not give up a lead as well. That's big for this team. So Big win for the Bulls tonight, a win that I know a lot of Bulls fans are going to appreciate because a lot of Bulls fans were counting us out because of just the way the season has gone so far. So let's go ahead and turn it over. Let's get over to the comment section. Let's see how you guys feel so far. We got Darren Link says, let's effing go Chicago. Absolutely agree with you on that one, brother. Tay Hollins in the building tonight. He says, a good win, but I need to see more from this team. Completely agree with you, brother. And it's not going to get any easier for the Chicago Bulls, right? They faced the Utah Jazz, one of the worst teams in the league so far at the young part of the season. We now play again on Wednesday, and then we play the Phoenix Suns, so be on the lookout for that. That's going to be an interesting game against the Phoenix Suns as well. So let's see, and I think they're gonna have Bradley Beal's expected to be back by that Phoenix Suns game, so we'll get to see what that looks like. Markel in the building. He says, well, I'll be damned for once the Bulls don't piss me off and we get a dub. Shout out to you on that one. Black Prophet in the building says, good win for the Bulls. Absolutely, bro. Glad to have you in the building as well. Patch in the building. PBN Patch, still got to call you by your old name, says, all I got to say is much needed win. Let's continue this momentum. And I definitely agree with you, bro, right? You want to take this win and we want to celebrate it just because it's been a while since the Bulls have gotten a dub, but they can't rest on this, right? Yes, they're at home, but they cannot rest on this. They have to get right back into the drawing board and be prepared because you got a high-powered offense in the Phoenix Suns coming through next, and you gotta see how you're gonna perform in that one. So let's see. But it's good that the Bulls get a dub, man. Good the Bulls get a dub. Ali Fault is in the building. He says, yes, sir. Glad to have you in the building as well, brother. Simba's in the building. Says, I was not able to breathe after every game they lost. I can finally breathe after. I was about to say, hey, bro, the Bulls are stopping you from breathing. That's wild, bro. We don't need to know all that. That was a little bit TMI, but if it's breathe, that's fine. I can finally breathe again. Glad to have you be able to breathe again, bro. My only complaint with Vooch is the damn tap out. You have a 7'5" wingspan, bro. Grab the effing ball. He'd easily have 3 more rebounds a game if he would tap the ball as much as he does. Listen, I know it seems like you could say 7'5" wingspan, but you're not always in a place to get it. So you kind of try to get it out to your guards. Hope they're going to get an open shot, but I see where you're coming from with that one. We got Keith R&B says, finally we pull off a much-needed motivational win. Let's keep this thing going. Let's hope so, man. Let's hope so. Melvin in the building says, I really hope Billy doesn't change Patrick Williams' role and keeps him on the bench. He was always better this way. I don't say he's always better on the bench, but he definitely has been better this season. Haize, will the Bulls play again for the in-season tournament? Yeah, of course. They got the next in-season tournament. So in the month of November, I think it's was it like Wednesday and Friday game, something like that. It is. So anytime you see a Friday game in the month of November, it's a in-season tournament game, I think. So I know Boston's in our bracket as well. So look out for that. But yeah, it's only 4 in-season tournament games, so we got 3 more in the pipeline. Johnny Rico says, great win. Zach, Kobe, DeMar, and Javon played great. Need more of this. Hopefully this starts a winning streak and more of the assists and threes. We need work on our rebounding. See Red. We've actually rebounded the ball pretty well so far this season. Now, we've also allowed really big rebounding nights, but offensive rebounding for the Bulls is way up from where it was last year, and that's what you like to see. I don't want this to go unrecognized. Dalen Terry looked a lot more comfortable out there, the ball out attacking the basket, small sample size, but he seemed more control. Listen, bro, are we really analyzing garbage time minutes for Dalen Terry? Is that what we're doing? He played 3 minutes today, bro. 3. I don't think that's really a good indication to see how he felt out there. What's good, Haize? This game is proof positive that if this team can play together consistently and everyone contributes, we can compete. Great win. Absolutely, Taurus Law. And I think we all knew that the Bulls can complete. Now, keep in mind, this is one of the worst teams in the NBA so far this year, just like we are. But I do like the way they competed. I like the heart that they fought with. All that is big wins for me in the Chicago Bulls book tonight. Definitely love seeing that from the team. Cannon Peacock says, finally needed this for my mental health. Hey, the Bulls out here affecting mental. I can't talk. This is from the guy who threw a chair because the Bears lost. So it is what it is. Brazil Popular says, team win. Got to keep the momentum and sweet mugs at home. Hey, listen, if the Bulls somehow come out of this home stretch back at 500 or a little bit below, I mean, that's kind of the jump start you need for a season. You got 7 out of your next 8 games. Well, now 6 out of your next 7 games at home. Listen, that's a nice shot in the arm potentially for this team. BL Jet Bulls finally get well from 3. Yeah, I mean, it was good to see hot night from 3-point from the Chicago Bulls. Absolutely. Lil Famo in the building says everybody looked great and like they wanted to win. Let's keep it up on to the Suns. Yeah, listen, this defense is going to have to be absolutely locked in for that Phoenix Suns offense. It was a good win, but let's not get too excited. We know that this is what this team is and what they aren't. We aren't competitive yet. I hope to see the change, but they have to show us. Don't get too hyped. Yeah, listen, I get the pessimism, but we're just celebrating a win right now. We know that the Bulls, it wasn't against a good team. That's why I keep pointing it out. It wasn't against a great team at all. We got more tests coming up, but they can use this as a launching point. Deja Toro says, great, solid win. Bulls induced anxiety, relieved a little. That's hilarious. Jabroni says, Io looks like an NBA player. He doesn't look rushed this year like he did last year. Yeah, I mean, I think there is some poise that comes with being on the bench as well. And he's on that bench unit with a lot of veterans that like to push that pace. So it really does play into his play style as well. Haize, can this team string some wins together and give us fans some hope? Hey, Gio, here's what I'll say on that, bro. I won't have my hope up high until we do string some wins together. So we'll see, man. Like I said, this is an important stretch for the Chicago Bulls. Having this many goals. They don't get another stretch like this at home at all this season. So let's see if they can take advantage of it. Nice in the building says, no ball cheeks today, seeing red again. That is hilarious. Oh, yeah, Melvin. Hey, by the way, I got a bone to pick with you. I see you be over there dropping the bag over at CHGO. I see how it is, Melvin. I see how it is. He be all in here talking. CHGO goes live. Melvin's out the building. I see how it is. We haven't won against the Suns in a while. That's what I hope happens soon. Just like we finally got a win in Denver, Bucks, and Golden State. Let's hope so, brother. Let's hope so. No ball cheeks today. That's funny. Are we really going to make that a thing? I haven't seen a blowout win like this since Pat Bev game 1. That's a great point. Great point. Still no minutes for Batum. Yes, Batum is on a 2-way contract. Let me tell everybody here, do not be surprised. It should be a bigger surprise when you see Batum, not when you don't see him. He's on a 2-way contract. You do not see 2-way contract players that often in the NBA. You just don't. That's not what 2-way contracts are for. So do not be surprised. Do not be surprised when you don't see Batum a lot. P. Will legit looks way more comfortable coming off the bench, I guess is what you mean there. Yeah, he definitely, listen, it's been noticeable. I will say this. P. Will was giving energy towards those last couple of starts too. He wasn't hitting the shot effectively. It was good to see him get a 3-ball to go down today as well. He went 2 for 4 from 3-point range. So that definitely was nice to see. And hopefully that's a confidence builder and we start seeing him move in the right direction as well as the team also. Very high scoring games tonight. Happy to be a part of that. And a lot of things went our way this game. C. Red from Cisco Rodriguez. Absolutely agree with you on that one as well, brother. Pat looks more comfortable off the bench. They should keep him in that role for the rest of the season. Hope he figures out a consistent role so Bulls can think of life without DeMar. Here's what I'll say. If things are working and you're winning games, you don't care how you can't play him more, right? If he starts thriving, he can start getting some fourth quarter minutes, stuff like that. But I don't disagree with you on that one at all. Don't disagree with you on that one. The Bulls shot really well from the four. From the four? We got 4-point shots out there. Haize, besides from the fourth quarter onslaught from Denver, I think the Bulls have been solid over the last few games, but can we see consistent effort night in and night out from here on? Oh, it's been way more than just the fourth quarter against Denver. Now, the Bulls have shown consistency, right? Everything hasn't been terrible. It's just been the inconsistency. The Bulls will put together a good quarter, a good half, and then falter at the end. So even in one of our wins, we faltered at the end. So, there's been some signs of positivity throughout these games. It's good to take care of business against, like I said, one of the worst teams in the NBA on this young part of the season. It can't stop yet. We got to continue. We got to keep pushing. Got to keep pushing. Indigenous Fire King says definitely need to get back on track. A win game and have this type of energy moving forward. This is definitely something to build on, Haize. Just like you always say, play with some fucking heart for real, for real. 100. Completely agree with you, man. That's it. We just want to see the team play with some heart and compete, right? That's really what it comes down to. The Bulls shot really well from three. I wish they shoot this well all the time. Didn't they shoot like they shot over 50%? We shot 52, basically 59. We were 52.9% from 3-point range today. So basically 53%. That's huge for a team that was at the bottom of the league, 3 points made, 3 points attempted. So it's really good to see that the team have that type of night, right? And so is it sustainable? No. The Bulls aren't going to shoot this well every night, but you do want to see days like this for sure. You definitely want to see days like this to help start building that confidence. P. Will with no pressure situation is good, but if they make the playoffs, do us think he will rise up or shrink? P. Will's constantly under pressure. He's a rookie, a 4th overall pick that everybody says that they want out of here, and he hasn't lived up to it. So I'm not going to say that P. Will's play good with no pressure, because there's always pressure, especially when you're a bench player and you come into the game, because then you don't want to be part of the unit that gives up the lead, right? He was part of a unit that extended the lead. So I'm not going to sit there and say there's no pressure in that. Is it the same pressure as the starting lineup? Probably not, but I don't think it's right to say that it's no pressure at all. So the Suns have been hit with injuries to Booker and Bill. It's been KD and some Tito's. The Bucks are in trouble because Middleton's knee is broke and the defense has been terrible. Listen, the Bulls still can't compete with the Bucks. You can tape on Middleton's knee, and I still don't think, from what we've seen from them so far, I would trust with them to compete with the Bucks. But with that said, Bradley Beal's on his way to return. Seems like he's shaping up to return against the Chicago Bulls. So we'll see how the Bulls compete against that in that game. Super Chat says Torrey only getting 3 points with +8 on plus minus is wild. Listen, Torrey Craig knows how to perform. That's it. Mo in the building says, got to give Javon Carter his flowers. He was on fire and really set the tempo for the rest of the night. Completely agree with you. Javon Carter is starting to round out to the player that I was hoping he would be able to be for the Chicago Bulls. And much like Stacey King said during the game, right? Javon Carter has always been a compliment. He hasn't ever been relied on for his 3-point shooting. His 3-point shooting was part of what they liked, but it's not like they were coming in expecting him to be a big part of that scoring load. With this second unit, he's almost, P. Will's there now, but he's basically the scorer on that second unit. So him and Io. So we're seeing Javon Carter really thrive in that role as well, and I like to see that from Javon as well. Melvin says, BL Jet, I done spent like $80 for donations. Listen, he was over there dropping the bag for CHGO last game and disappeared on us. He's a turncoat. Melvin's a turncoat. I see how it is. We kick CHGO's ass in live streams after every game, though, so I ain't gonna be too mad at it. I just had to throw Melvin a little joke there. Melvin's an OG here. He's family here, man. I mean, honestly, I don't think it matters if P-Dub starts or comes off the bench, but definitely makes a win. He's playing with aggressiveness and heart regardless, because we all know he has the talent. Great point, right? We always say that about P. Will. It's not necessarily about starting or coming off the bench. It's really about the aggressiveness, the heart, what's in between his ears, right? And so hopefully he's using this stint on the bench to really build that confidence up. Sonny says, the more I see Alex Caruso's contract, the more I'm surprised I am at the cost. What do you think he'll get next? Oh, if Alex Caruso was on the open market right now, for example, he'd easily get $15 to $18 million a year. Easily. We're talking double. He's on what, a $9.5 million contract? Alex Caruso would easily get between $15 and $18 million on the open market, period. Great defensive presence and took care of the ball. Not many turnovers. Always a positive when the team is focused and locked in. That's from Hamid. Absolutely right, bro. I definitely agree with you on that. TC adapted and got in rhythm from the first game. Now JC has adapted and got in rhythm too. We should be better. Io and Kobe improvements help too. Just got to focus and lock in from Brazil properly. Completely agree with you on that one. D Greatest says, please don't overlook the Pistons. Well, we got three games before the Pistons? Let's get there first, my brother. Let's get there. We can't overlook them when we're talking about the team we played before them. We only got one game. Well, listen, they one thing about the Bulls, they have a tendency to almost overlook anybody, but the Pistons already kicked their ass. Let's hope that they're in here trying to get that dub back, right? Do you think Kessler would have developed like this in the Bulls system? Yeah, because I think Kessler is just playing to his strengths. I don't think Kessler's really and I don't mean this as a negative. Let me be clear. It's going to sound like that, but I don't mean it as a negative. I just mean it as a real thing. It's not like Walker Kessler has added a huge amount to his game that he didn't come in. He's just getting the time and space to be him, do what comes comfortably. The Utah Jazz needed exactly what Walker Kessler's strengths were. So we're seeing him thrive in that. So I definitely think that would have been, he would have been able to do that here as well. You got to look at it. We probably wouldn't have signed Drummond if that was the case. So he would have been in that Drummond role. Super chat. Hey, first off, thank you to Brandon L. Jet for supporting the channel at any level, much less dropping 100 on us. We appreciate you, Brandon L. Jet. Hip Hop Madness says CHGO shade. Oh, no shade. Dave and Matt are my dudes. Like, real talk. There's never no shade with them. I've been listening to Big Dave. I'm sorry, Matt, back when he was doing the debatables, right? So we're talking about 2013-ish, something like that. So yeah, those are my guys, man. Those are my guys. We did it, y'all. Now we need to do this to the Suns and Bucks, being greedy with the Bucks win. But this is something to build off of. Everyone needs to take pride in their role. That one's for Mr. X. Completely agree with you on that one as well, too, brother. Definitely completely agree with you on that. Haize' family. Always take care of family. You already know, BL Jet. I appreciate you, bro. Your channel killing CHJ Haize, your content just, hey, Indigenous Fire King, I appreciate that. Like I said, I didn't mean that as like a slight to their content. Those are my guys, man. I can't stress enough how much I respect those fellas, man. I've gotten to kick it with them in person a couple of times, done some episodes with them, and they're just good dudes, man. Real talk. Like, we can get so caught up in like who's the best content creator or not, but when it comes down to it, Matt and Dave are just good people, bro. Especially Big Dave. No slight on Matt either, but Big Dave, like, if you ever get to meet Big Dave in person, it legit feels like you're meeting family. Like, that's what it is. Big Dave's just a good dude, man. He's just a good dude. Kessler plays to his strength, but will barely have let him. Yes, because we need exactly what it'd be different if it was raw, right? Like Julian Phillips, a very raw player. Dalen Terry, very raw player. Walker Kessler isn't raw at all. So, and I think we would have needed it. Keep in mind, if we don't have Drummond, which we signed Drummond after that draft, and I don't think we would have signed Drummond had we drafted Walker Kessler, we would have needed him for rebounding, rim protection, both things that we don't have a lot of, and those are his strengths. So I absolutely think we would have did that. Now, Walker Kessler is a solid pick and roll in the pick and roll offense too. We haven't been that since we lost Lonzo, so I don't know if we would have used the pick and roll offense. The Jazz don't use it that much either, but I think what Walker Kessler brings, we would have needed exactly that. So I think we would have been fine there as well with Kessler. Shout out to BL Jet for the super chat. Hit the like, y'all. Hit the subscribe button as well. Oh, by the way, from the suggestion, I can't remember who left it in the last stream. So somebody asked if I would ever do a Ask Me Anything, and I said I wouldn't do it. Ask Me Anything. Well, I'm actually re-nigging on that. I'm a re-nigga. Shout out if you get that joke. I'm re-nigging on that. Here's the thing. If we get to 20,000 subscribers by the end of this season, I will do an AMA live for the 20,000 special, for the 20,000 subscriber special. So once we hit 20,000 subscribers, I'm going to do an episode. It's going to be live in celebration. We'll do a 1 hour Ask Me Anything. No holds barred. So there you guys go on that. More motivation to get your friends to subscribe. Go pick up your mama's cell phone, download YouTube on it, hit the subscribe button there. Your 5-year-old kids, if you got, some of y'all got cell phones for your 5-year-olds. Their tablets. I know some of y'all be putting y'all kids in front of tablets. Subscribe on the TV, subscribe on your phone, subscribe on everything. We get to 20,000 subscribers, I'll do a 1 hour long Ask Me Anything. There you go. See what happens when BD doesn't take off Drummond. When he was cooking, he was great tonight. Give him more minutes. Hey, listen, Drum played a really, really good game tonight. And I almost was worried about that for a little bit, a little second, that after he got the 10,000 rebound mark, that maybe he was going to be a little bit more excited. But in 14 minutes, keep in mind, 14 minutes, Andre Drummond scored 12 points with 1 block, 1 steal, 1 assist, and 7 rebounds in 14 minutes. Right? So, like, he didn't even play that many more minutes. But the thing is that Billy Donovan kept him in when he was hot. Right? So that's really what the thing is. It's not always about playing somebody a ton of minutes, but it's about maximizing those minutes when you can. So when you see a player executing well, keep them in the game. Why take them out? Right? Right in the hot hand of Andre Drummond and let him stay in there when he was playing in rhythm helped him be better in this game. definitely helped them be better in this game. Did the Bulls use the mismatches to their advantage satisfactorily? Yeah, I think they did. I really think they did. I think they understood as well how to attack that Utah Jazz's defense, which is an extremely strong defense. So, only thing you can complain about this game is the rebound deficit. Happy birthday to Julian Phillips. All of 20, he'll develop and be great one day. Hey, Justin, from your mouth to God's ears. I've said it a lot. I really do like Julian Phillips' game. I really do like it. Haize, who are your favorite Bull content creators? So CHGO, of course, Pat the designer, Shy Bulls podcast with the Cognac Boys. Absolutely, you already know. Quentin with Let's Talk Bulls, Duncan with the Slam Duncan. Of course, what they do over at NBC Bulls Chicago. But if you're kind of talking like the more grassroots Chicago Bulls creators, them, Tony over at Bulls Nation Station, one of my favorite guys, and then also Adrian over at the Bulls Show. So those are some of my favorite guys that I listen to all the time. Outside of like the norm, right? Doug Tonis, C Red Fred. I've been listening to those guys since I was like 19 years old. So yeah, definitely those guys. Let's see. That is a great point. Yeah, he got so excited with that steal, he missed the layup. That is the one time. That is the one time for sure. Muggs is going to start writing Dwight questions from today. That's hilarious. That's funny. You tripping. You got to be at 20K by the All-Star break. That true shines through, my brother. Keep speaking it for the people. I appreciate you, Big Chevro. Listen, getting 5,000 subscribers in like the All-Star break is in like 2 months. That's probably not going to happen. I got to be realistic. I would love to get there. But hey, whatever happens, whenever God sees fit for us to be ready to get there, we'll get there. That's the way that I look at it. Yeah, I agree. I think y'all are better overall. And you, what's his name? Locked on Bulls. I don't know why I forget his name sometimes, but that's Pat the designer. That's my guy, man. That's my little brother, man. Bulls. I did forget. Why did I forget Bull Central? Jamal, absolutely. I told you guys, Jamal's like the GOAT of this, man. So definitely shout out to Jamal. Can't forget Jamal. Shout out to Bobby. I love what he does. He actually sounds like a wrestling commentator half the time, which is a plus. That is hilarious. If Phillips would develop into a Bobby Portis type player, he'll be well worth trading into the draft to get him. Listen, especially at a second round pick, keep that in mind too. Like as a second round pick, if he develops into a Bobby Portis type player, that'd be great, man. Cap of the Greats, his question: why do some Bulls fans have a man crush on Kai Jones? He isn't that good. I have no idea. I found out about that for the first time on Twitter today. Somebody tagged me in something and was like, "Hey, what's up with the Bulls fans' love for Kai Jones?" I was like, "Bro, God must have absolutely blocked my brain from being able to see that because I haven't seen any of that. I don't understand. Bulls fans have a tendency to fall in love with mediocre players, thinking they're going to save something. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand the love for Kai Jones personally, but hey, it is what it is, man. Brandon L. Jet plugging Locked on Bulls. Y'all make sure y'all go over on Locked on Bulls after this. I'm probably going to be solo today. I had seen if Steve or Bobby could join me, but the Negroes never responded. So it is what it is there. Let's see if they responded. No. So it is what it is. Hope this is turning point for the Bulls because I still have faith in my Bulls, and you love Matt and Big Dave for sure. Y'all are cut from for y'all cut different. You keep it real, and I mean but it's different. Yeah, I mean, listen, they definitely, but it's a different vibe. We're different people. We're from different backgrounds, with different styles. And we also have two very different platforms, right? So like my platform is 100% homegrown. They work for a network over there. If you let Big Dave and Matt go, it'll be completely different because I've been with them in person. Though, like those are two of the funniest motherfuckers. God's honest truth. He the right kind of crazy we need. Who, me? Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Man, I'm a little crazy. That's fair. I'm a little crazy. I'm not wound too tight. So that makes sense. That makes sense. Hey, a lot of people have been saying DeMar is declining, which may be true, but I like how he's allowing others to get more shots up and trying to play faster and facilitate more. Listen, GR, I completely agree with you. I talked about that a little bit on the halftime hangout, is that everybody on this team basically their game suits being more up tempo. Except DeMar DeRozan, he just doesn't thrive in an up tempo system, but he's finding ways to contribute to an up tempo system. The 4 steals today was amazing. He started a lot of fast breaks today, 4 assists as well, 5 rebounds, and DeMar DeRozan is also picking his spots much. Let me not say better, because saying better makes it seem like it was a negative, but he's still taking the same 17 and a half shots he took last season, but does it not feel like he's shooting less, right? That's like, it feels like he's shooting less, and he hasn't shot it at an amazing percentage this season, but it just feels like DeMar is kind of picking things a little bit better. So, yo, Haize, if we do happen to move on from DeMar at some point this year, what team are you looking at if you were the GM, and who would you want back? Listen, Vern, I'm not the trade machine guy. I'll do that closer to the trade deadline. I don't have anything off the top of my head. I mean, I'm sure the LA teams will be involved and interested in them. But I haven't really done a heavy research. You know me, I like to have an actual plan, right? So haven't really done that. I've kind of more been focused at the start of the season rather than worry about trading people already. So we'll probably get that content eventually, though, because I know that's things and questions people are going to ask. I'm just not at that point yet. So BL Jet says, Father Time is undefeated. Absolutely. I've been watching you, Pat, and Jamal for a while. Good seeing my favorite Bulls content creators go crazy. I appreciate that. I'm actually going to try to get Jamal on here, not for a post-game show, for a pre-recorded, probably sometime next week is when I'm going to try to link up with Jamal again. We got Kevin Anderson coming on tomorrow, not on the daily. So I have a daily episode dropping tomorrow morning, and then probably about midday tomorrow, I'll have a bonus episode with Kevin Anderson from NBC Sports Chicago. He's coming on tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. Going to be just a Fire Bulls conversation, and then I'll work on getting Jamal over next week. I'm trying to start working in getting one guest a week. So after that, I'm looking at bringing in Derek from Nothing But Bull, and then we'll probably try to have on there's another, probably Tony. I'll probably reach out to Tony after that. So we're going to have, like I said, I'm trying to bring on one guest a week. I'm finally starting to realize that I got a little pull, so I can get people. Stacy will be on sometime this season as well. And then we're going to work on Casey Johnson after that. Casey just has a really busy schedule. So that's kind of the next people up on the plan to be guests on the show, just so you guys know that. Bathor Payne says, yeah, you crazy, Haize. That night you said if someone come to my home, I'm shooting. I mean, that's real. I can't remember laughing harder than that. I was so off the cuff. You were dead serious, bro. Somebody roll up to my house, I'm shooting you. Like, that's it. If you crazy enough to pull up to my house, you crazy enough to get shot that day, I'm shooting you. You ain't got to worry about it. You can get online. You can be like, hey, this motherfucker crazy ass content creator shot my ass. You roll up to my house, I'm shooting you. Just know that. Just know that. Well, let's move on. AC extension coming now. LOL. He's also got the Reinsdorf's numbers. That's funny. That's hilarious. Shout out to Haize. Loving the content, brother. This is really the number one spot to vent for Bulls fans after a win or loss. Hey, I'm glad that I could be there for you guys. Definitely glad I could be that for you. The only fan base that can talk sports, sci-fi, comics, music, and drip and stripper ass sweat. I'm talking about you, JDH. Hey, listen, y'all know JDH got that cup full of ass sweat. We need a leader in the locker room. I've been saying this since last season. We struggled last year till we got Pat Bev and went on a run to make the play-in. Well, I mean, listen, we did go 14-9 over that time. That team still had some struggles, but I think more than a leader in the locker room, because I think we have a leader in the locker room. DeMar is a leader in the locker room. Vooch is a leader in the locker room. We need a leader on the floor, meaning we need somebody who's going to be vocal and tell people, hey, you missed your assignment. You owe us one, right? We need some of that. What's up, fam? I feel like we better with DeMar if we leading in the fourth. He's the only player that understands how to take care of a lead. Listen, I think him and Caruso, and I would say Drummond if he's out there with the lead too, but I definitely get what you're saying with that. I definitely agree with you there. Just thought about this. Would Jamal Crawford and Taj Gibson be good coaches? I don't know. Jamal, I don't know. What is Jamal Crawford? I don't know. Jay Lee says, Haize, what team do you think is looking to make a win-now move just like the Bulls did when they got Vooch, Zoe, DeMar, and Caruso? That's a really good question. I think the Knicks are always looking for that, right? They're always a team that's going to be looking to make a win-now move to kind of up their stakes, especially with how bad Julius Randle, his analytics are some of the worst in NBA history. So them, I think the Miami Heat definitely looking to make a win-now move to improve that team. But if you're talking about a team that's kind of outside the playoffs that are looking to do that, I don't really know if none in the Eastern Conference. I wouldn't say maybe the Charlotte Hornets, but I think they're kind of fine developing right now. Probably the the Sacramento Kings, maybe the Lakers as well. Probably that. I mean, I don't know if anyone's kind of in the same place that the Bulls were that season, though, right? Let's talk Bulls. Says, let's go. This is the Chicago Bulls needs. Brazil Popular says, yeah, understanding how to take care of the lead is key. I say DeMar and Javon Carter are the better ones at it. Caruso, too. Yeah, I didn't mention Javon Carter. That was a great point as well. I'm probably crazy enough to pull up Haize. Well, that's different. If you pull up, the only shot you getting is we taking shots of tequila because you family. So we kicking it. That's it. That's it. Vern in the building says, yo, Haize, keep up the great work on Locked On NBA as well, covering the games, not just primarily Bulls focus. So it's NBA Central, but I know what you meant on that one. Yeah, definitely. If you guys are looking for general NBA content from me, NBA Central, it's not as consistent yet. I need to get into a better rhythm there, but it's all of us. Me, Steve-O, Big Kev, Bobby, C-Dub, we all drop videos over there. So you'll get content over there pretty regularly. Gino Moore says, I don't know. I hate this text and shit. Sorry about the missing in action bullshit because you hit on the wrong button. Then it could possibly be the sentence legit I hate. But let's go Bulls, Bulls Nation. Absolutely, bro. YouTube does make it really easy to press the enter button easier too. Andre looks like a Mexican dad with the mustache and chin beard. That is funny. That is funny. Victory Blunt in the air, still fuck him. Hey, Steve-O, you didn't respond to my message, bro. Are you doing Locked On Bulls with me tonight? Gotta let me know if you're doing Locked On Bulls with me tonight, brother. Drummond missed the layup because he was afraid of missing the dunk again. That's funny. That's funny. Is it possible for us to get Marcus Smart? And how would you feel about him being our starter point guard? We're not getting Marcus. They just traded for Marcus Smart, and he brings everything that team needs, even when John Morant comes back. So I doubt that he's going to be available. Omar says, what's good, Haize? I was at the game, and the atmosphere was electric. Bulls are now 6-0 whenever I attend. The streak lives, my boy. Well, go to more fucking games, Omar. How about that? Go to more games, my guy. Like, if you got the key to the Bulls winning more games and you not going to more games, you're just selfish. You're just being selfish. You're just being selfish, you bastard. No, I'm just playing. I'm glad you get to see wins, my boy. Matter of fact, I don't think the Bulls have lost a game that I've gone to for probably about the same amount of time. Like, I don't think the Bulls have lost to any games that I've been to. At least not since I started the show. Maybe I'm wrong on that, though. The Nets seem like a fit for DeMar. They seem like that, but, like, I don't know. I feel like the Nets are also a team that's fine letting the young guys develop, right? Like, don't forget, Mikal Bridges is, 27? So I don't know if they want to go younger than that when they could just keep Mikal Bridges and ride it out through his prime. Detroit, because they have a surplus of players in the same position, but they're not in the same position to make a move like the Bulls. I don't think Detroit's really thirsty to make the playoffs immediately. I think they want to build naturally. At least that's my take on it. The Bulls are really thirsty to get into the playoffs. Really, really thirsty. I don't know if Detroit has the same thirst. Billy finally played each guy the round amount of minutes, except for maybe Vooch at the end of the second half. Well, Drum was cooking, so I kind of understand that then. Quentin says, check out your Awakened Soul podcast. It was fire, bro. I appreciate that. That's my more deep. Like, I have to be in a great mental place to do that podcast because it is so much like personal stuff and things like that. But I'm glad you got to check it out, man. Definitely glad you got to check it out. Except the Celtics, a lot of teams aren't doing quite as expected so far this year in the East. I mean, yeah, I can agree with that, right? I mean, Boston, who you said to the Celtics, and I think Philly being 5-1 on the season too. Like, I think that they may even be doing better than what people are expecting. The Milwaukee Bucks are 4-2, so you can't really knock them too much. But I definitely agree with the fact that the Atlanta Hawks are the fourth best team per record in the Eastern Conference right now. It's wild. And then you got teams like Cleveland and New York, 7th and 8th. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. Big Bro Spicy Butter is in the building. Says, let's go, little bro. Bulls Nation, drive the ball. Good things happen. Absolutely, bro. Completely agree with you on that one. It's Seaways World says, I need to stop going because they stay losing when I pull up. Hey, that's funny. Yeah, stop going. You stay your ass at home. Stay your ass at home. So, you think when D Rose retires, he will sign a one-day contract? I hope so. I really hope so. I really hope so. Omar being selfish while the BO ready to be molested for this. That's still one of the funniest moments in live stream history, bro. That is hilarious, man. That's funny. That is actually really funny. Let's see. Nets giving up something like Dorian, O'Neal, and some picks. Team would be nice with Dinwiddie, McHale, DeMar, Claxton. Mm, mm, I don't know. I'm not as excited about that. I get why you would be. I'm just, yeah. That's how I feel about it. Yeah, it is what it is. Miami Wadonna's message pink in black letters in the lane, hardest working, best condition, most professional, unselfish, selfish, meanest, nastiest team in the NBA. Did you have a stroke while you were typing that? Trading DeMar is not going to be easy. It's not many teams that he fit on unless an injury happens and the team needs a score. I disagree with that. I think he actually fits on a lot of teams. I think like some of the teams that were more natural fit, like now that the Clippers have Harden, that's gone, right? But I do think that he fits on some teams. So I think he can help the Pelicans. I think he fits on that team. Now they would have to change the lineup considerably. But again, I'm not saying that they're necessarily interested in him, but I definitely think he can fit that team. I think the Lakers will make him fit, right? I think that's the thing, and I think he could fit on the Miami Heat. But again, I think they're going to try to go younger. You thought no, that you can still play. They can recall because he's on a full NBA contract. They can send him down to the G League and recall him the same day. So Eddie Curry's in the city. That's funny. That's hilarious. But all right, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to wrap up the stream. We're going to go ahead and head over to Locked On Bulls. Make sure you guys also hit the subscribe button on your way out. As you know, we are gearing towards 20,000 subscribers as quick as possible. We just decided I'm going to do a 1-hour AMA once we reach 20,000 subscribers. But otherwise, also, if you're a listener on the YouTube side or watcher on the YouTube side, go over to Apple Podcasts. I know you got the app on your phone, or go over to Spotify. I know you either got that app on your phone, and just bring up Chicago Bulls Central. Go ahead and leave a 5-star review. It helps the podcast grow. If you're on the podcast side and listen to this after the fact, go over to the YouTube side as well. Hit that subscribe button. Help us reach that goal of 20,000 subscribers. Otherwise, make sure you guys are following the show at Bulls Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and or voicemail for the mailbag or any other episode, because we try to play some voicemails when we get a lot on regular episodes, 773-270-2799. All these links are also in the description of either the podcast or the YouTube side. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Locked On Bulls. And like I like to end everything on, go Bulls. Love you guys. See red if you can, y'all. Peace.